Hey, it's Uncle Joe at Uncle Joe Hikes. I'm up here on the Andrews Cove Trail. Gonna take it up to and cross the AT at Indian Grave and do that Rocky Mountain loop. Of course, I've done that loop a few times. It's been a long time since I've been out here and done this hike, and I got to looking at some of my older footage, and so much of it was before I had the GoPro and the Hyper Smooth. I thought, you know, it's been a while. It's been quite a number of years since I've done this particular loop, so why not hike it again and get some better footage? So that's what we're up here to do. We are starting to see some flowers popping. I was hoping to see maybe them be a little bit more prolific, but we may not. We're just starting to see things open up, really. But we'll see. Beautiful spot. Trying to make our way across here. A little bit of a step. There we go. So other than a couple of dips, this trail is largely just a climb all the way up to Indian Grave. It's only about 1.8 miles, so it's not too bad. So we made our way around further out here to the southeast. Now we're going to close that gap, and up there in that V is where we're headed. I know there's going to be a series of long steps coming up too, so we'll know we're getting close when we see those. You can see a lot of small plants just starting to open up. We got these May apples here starting to open up. They're opened up pretty good back home, down around 1,000 feet. We got this guy here, he's in the Trillium family there, starting to open up. So, spring has sprung. You can see the buds up in the top of the trees. So they're just a week or so behind where we are down at the house. But it's happening. Well, we've been hiking a little bit exposed. So the trees just aren't dense enough under here so far in that section anyway. About the last 200 or 300 yards. Now we're getting into a little rhododendron tunnel. A little break from the sun. It's not hot outside, but the sun is definitely being felt when you're out there. We can hear the creek roaring as we're back to the creek draw. Got a little bit of a descent here if we start another climb, but overall this is quite a climb though, up to Indian Grave. Well, there's definitely a lot more blowdown on the trail, but all of it has been cut up good. So the hike itself has been fine. We're getting closer to the gap, which is nice. Just passed a couple of hikers heading down as we approach our little water break steps here. It's pitching up fairly steep right here. Up, up, up. Met these folks here. We're up at Indian Grave Gap. I didn't get their names. You got nicknames or just name names?
My trail name is Shitting Bull.
That's kind of redundant, I think. These are
Kristen.
Kristen?
Dalton.
Dalton. They're EMTs? Is that right?
I'm a nurse.
She's a nurse. That's even better. So, yeah. EMTs are like, I think I can help you. A nurse is like, get out of the way. I got this. They don't look like Auburn grads. I'm sure they know what they're doing. Anyway.
I'm a Tennessee grad, okay?
Uh-oh.
Listen, Florida over here.
We won't hope. Florida? Yeah, I grew up in Florida.
Oh,
Praise.
God.
Yeah, y'all just took the national championship
Sure did
in
in
basketball.
basketball,
All right.
Great day.
I want to talk
It's great to be a Florida Gator.
There you go. We're still doing our road walk around here to the Rocky Mountain Trail. It'll peel off to our left here shortly. This isn't a very long road walk, really. It's probably not even a half a mile. So it's not bad. The Rocky Mountain Trail, of course, will take us around to the AT between the Rocky Mountain Summit and Unicoi, and then we'll summit from there and come back down to Indian Grave where we just were. Head on back to Andrews Cove Campground from there. Well, here we are, Rocky Mountain Trail. All right, peeling off this old logging road bed down into some single track. Been rooting in here. Yeah, looks like it's turned up down in yonder too. Probably some hogs. Beautiful day. Probably mid-50s. So it's not too hot. Not a cloud in the sky, really. Yeah, that one's abandoned, Jim. I think it was too close to the highway here. I'm tired of people walking by. Well, we just came out of those rhododendrons there. Good bit of climbing in there. It's a lot more gradual coming this way, but that doesn't mean there's no climbing at all. Oh, catch my breath a minute here. We should be able to make our way around this draw here and start our way up. Get up to the intersection up around the corner, so still got a little ways to go. Something took a break right there. Make our way along this side slope. Just about up here to the tongue of this ridge, I think. Well, we made it to the AT. Unicoi's that way. We're going that way to Indian Grave. Up, up, up. All right, we got the climb up from the turnoff done. For the most part, we're kind of up here on this tongue, working our way to the summit proper. Yeah, that took a little work. This little ridge is a nice break from that steep climb. Just got a little bit of ways here to the summit. All right, we're just off the summit of Rocky Mountain. This little overhang here. Been here a time or two before. We got Yona out there looming large. See y'all out yonder way. Down there is Andrews Cove, so we got to go down and then go down into the cove to get back to the car. I'm gonna get us a snack first, though. There he is.
Enjoy.
You too, man. Be safe.
Yeah, you too.
All right, we got a group in front of us there, day hiking. I just got off the perch there. Met Gary and his wife, Sandy. Hope I got that right, Gary. Really nice fellows and lady from Marietta. He owns a bar there in Marietta, so maybe we'll get up there and visit with them sometime. Good to meet them. Yeah, we're making our way down now. We'll get down to Indian Grave, get to the Cove Trail, work our way back to the car. Just such a beautiful day today. temperature is just right. Not too hot, not cold. And you couldn't pay for a day like this. It cost you some big money. Another good view. We got Yona, and then we got the road to Indian Grave out there. Keep making our way. You really don't realize what a descent it is coming off of Rocky Mountain down to Indian Grave Gap until you're doing it. And it kind of brings into perspective all the climbing you do on the back side, because it's a lot more gradual than this. But you come up a good bit, you know. This descent is a fairly long one in a way. But climbing up this, like I say, it's a lot steeper than going around. I think in the long run, counterclockwise is still the best way, whether you're doing Unicoi or coming out of Andrews Cove and doing the Rocky Mountain Loop. So for what that's worth, I think it's always nicer to do this steep section going down, though that can be hard on your knees too. Anyway, getting on a little bit of a saddle here before we make that final drop down. Bit of a breeze too. May not be able to make out, but there's the road we were looking down upon earlier. We're still making our way down to Indian Grave. We're on this side slope here, but that's how far we've come down. You can recall we were looking down at that road in previous shots, so we've come down a good bit. We still got a good ways to descend still though. There's Indian Grave. Got some cars down there, so some of these people are hiking were probably in those cars, though they could be going out toward Trey. But anyway, get down there and we'll make our hard right down the cove. Alright, we're back here at the gap. Didn't film a lot here earlier. I wanted to make sure it was okay with those people, you know. You never know, they could be running from the law or running from an ex-wife or maybe an in-law or something. Anyway, Andrews Cove Trail. Make our way down to the campground. Taking a little break here on this rock. That descending was starting to bother my right knee a little bit, so yeah, time to cool down. We got a little over a mile to go, maybe a mile and a half. Get down to the cove. Been a good day. I would have been done by now if I hadn't stopped and run my mouth with people. But it was good. Met some good folks. Very, very nice. Felt good. You know, I got tired climbing. I mean, I recovered really well. I mean, the lost weight is really paying off. Really paying off. In descending, I passed those young people. They're half my age. They moved over and let me go by. I think they would have done as well just hanging with them, but I actually pulled away. That made me feel kind of good, especially on a descent. But yeah, nice cool breeze finishing out here. It's really nice. Didn't get too hot today. I sweated just a little, you know, not enough to run down my face or anything like that. It's just like the perfect hiking day. A cloud in the sky. I'll take it. Guess it never dawned on me that that creek draw comes down under that rock and then works its way down. Huh. Pretty neat. Fans out really wide in here, kind of makes a bit of a bog. Well, we made good time. We're almost here to the campground. I could have shaved an hour off if I'd have kept my mouth shut. And shaved an hour off their hike too. Anyway, we can see the sign ahead. There we go. Well, there's old Rolla Corolla. I'm sorry, that's the best nickname I could come up with. Waiting patiently. Hopefully nobody broke in and got my $6 million man action figure. I was always losing that little panel that hides the robotics. And I'd have to play with it without it. And I'd find it later in the bottom of the toy box. Rocky Mountain Loop out of Andrews Cove done. Right around 7 miles. I'll put the particulars down below. Felt good though, all day, I really did. And just been a great day on the trail. Anyway, we're gonna get out of here, get something to eat.